Come make this cake with me. Making some salted caramel buttercream. First, I made my salted caramel sauce and let it cool overnight. Then I made my vanilla buttercream and mixed in some of my caramel until it was all incorporated. Now let's stack the cake. Put buttercream on your board before putting your first layer down. I like to use a scoop to get the same amount of buttercream between each layer. I put some of the caramel sauce into a piping bag to pipe into the swirl. Now repeat that process with all of your layers. Once you've stacked all of your layers, crumb coat your cake and chill for 20 minutes. My cake is chilled and ready for its final coat. After you cover your cake, put it back in the fridge to chill for 20 minutes. Now, watch me freak out how I'm going to put the stencil on the cake without touching the cake. Scrape away the excess icing before pulling the stencil off the cake. I just lined my stencil up against the first part on the cake and did the same thing around the entire cake. Now I'm airbrushing the cake with a gold color. Start light and use smooth motions so you don't get splotches of color. Now comes the fun part. We're going to flip our cake over to move it onto its decorated board. Remove the bottom board and add the new one. Make sure it's centered before flipping it back over. Now you can carefully remove the top board. This is how I decorated my cake board. I used champagne Americolor food gel to color my fondant. Mix thoroughly until all of the color is incorporated and you don't see any streaks. I'm putting a little bit of water onto the board so the fondant will stick. I'm not covering the entire board, just the edges. Use your smoother to smooth out the fondant so you won't leave handprints behind. Now I'm adding the same stencil that we put on the cake onto the board. I'm drawing my picture onto my fondant with the soft scribe tool. Then I'll use my X-Acto knife to cut it out. Using food gel and vodka, I'm painting the fondant. Let layers dry before going back over each section to add depth with your color. Once she's dry, we can add her to the cake. I've wrapped my flower with floral tape before sticking it into the bubble tea straw that is in the cake. I filled the straw with buttercream before adding the flour. Before I add my sword, I make a pilot hole first to avoid breaking my sword when I put it into the cake. Now I'm making some leaves for the cake using a mold and plunger cutters. Now comes the fun part of adding all of those leaves to the cake. The end result. I'm so happy with how it turned out.